And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to day number 3 of the Prana Transmission Technique 3-day challenge. And so here we are on the final day. I hope you guys have been tuning into this from day 1 and that you have been using the Prana Transmission Technique for healing problems, for healing troubles. So what we're going to do for day number 3 is I'm going to do just a live demonstration of the Prana Transmission Technique. I'm going to do a brief overview, and then again we'll look into the audience. If the audience has any questions in regards to what's being demonstrated, then I'll take some questions as well too. So we're going to start off right from the beginning for Prana Transmission Technique, acting as if I have some certain problems, which I don't really anymore because I've cleared so many of them out. But I'm just going to put some on me anyways. So if I'm basically starting off with Prana Transmission Technique, the first thing I want to do is maybe have a notepad or a notebook and just start writing things down. Write down any problematic thoughts that are coming to me. So I'd usually just start off with a body scan, just kind of feeling into my being and just be aware of any particular forms of problems, troubles, concerns that may be arising. Okay, so I would just basically say, for example, okay, I'll put down anger for one, right? Anger regarding, I think what would be a good thing for anger. Just the feeling of, okay, maybe being shortchanged, maybe feeling like there's an animosity towards a neighbor I have, for example, and maybe just being brushed off in that way. So basically, I'd say an angry situation between myself and my next door neighbor. Okay, and just feeling like I wasn't being given the time of day, and there was a bit of an argument that happened, and then we just kind of stormed off in our opposite directions. So anger towards a neighbor. So that would be one example of a problematic thought that comes to mind. So I'm going to use that just as an example. Okay, so again, I have that thought now. I'm just seeing it right now in my mind with the angry neighbor, and we're just kind of snapping at each other, not really giving each other the time of day, both kind of disgruntled. And so I see that and say, okay, what is that thought doing to me? Okay, I'm feeling anger, feeling upset, feeling disrespected. And so with that, I'm just being aware of the thought, being aware of the emotions that it does to me. Okay, and now we're going to do the transmission posture, taking a deep breath in and starting heart rate variability. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that flow. Okay, that's 5 breaths. So I'll look into the thought right now and feeling, is this thought still affecting me? I said, no, not really. It's starting to get less and less. It's maybe about 10% there, but I'd say 90% of it certainly feels gone. Okay, so I'm going to do, again, another round. Okay, so that's the second run now. Looking at that thought, completely gone. 100% gone, feeling a lot better. I think I'll go out and apologize to the neighbor as well too, right? Because all of that anger between myself and that neighbor towards some altercation that we had the other day. Now completely gone. I feel a lot better. The anger is not there anymore. Fantastic. Okay, so that's phase one. Phase one is just coming towards the idea of just being able to look at that thought, be aware of the emotions surrounding that thought, and being able to completely nullify that thought, those emotions around that thought, as inflammation. So again, it's like looking at a lit candle and just being able to take that snuffer and snuffing out the flame. Okay, so like I said, sometimes it may take more repetition to do 2 runs or 3 runs or so forth. But nonetheless, as long as you are feeling that the anger or the emotional situation surrounding that thought is getting less and less, you're doing it well. So we just continue to do it until that anger, until that emotional situation becomes less and less, and we basically just snuff it out. So as it's snuffed out, I just look at that thought now. Am I ready to let this thought go? Yes. It doesn't affect me anymore. I'm able to put it in the background. Okay. So I'm no longer triggered by that thought anymore. I'm no longer emotionally inflamed with that thought in regards to what happened yesterday with an altercation between my next door neighbor and me. Good news was there was actually no altercation, but I'm just acting as if there was. But nonetheless, we're able to snuff that out. We're able to clear that away completely. And then we go into phase 2. Okay, so now that we've finished phase 1, our hands are still up just like this. Okay, the transmission posture. Okay. Now, if you guys feel like you don't want to really raise your hands up, if you want to just keep your hands down at your lap, you can if you want. I usually suggest doing this though, because this really helps on different levels. Okay, this is basically just kind of helping you to move into the relinquishing of surrender. And when we go into phase 2 as well, we're feeling the prana flowing through the hands and just rippling through the body all together completely. Okay, but if you don't want to have them up for phase 1, you don't have to. Okay, but I suggest doing it. It's a good, helpful posture. Okay. All right, so let's go into phase 2 now. So phase 2, now that we've done the nullifying of the thought, we're now going to breathe in God, breathe out God 3 times. Inhale God. Exhale God. Inhale God. Exhale God. Inhale God. Exhale God. And now I'm going to be stating my sankalpa, my heart-centered intention, heartfelt intention. I am healing my body to clear away this emotional condition, clearing away the emotional situation I just had previously. I am healing my body to clear away this emotional condition. I am healing my body to clear away this emotional condition. Okay, now that I've said my sankalpa, I'm just tuning in through heart rate variability now, and just letting spirit behind the scenes work with the breath to completely cleanse the body and be free of the emotional conditions that were once there. So we'll begin. Okay, intuitively I'm just feeling I'm done, it's complete, and just taking a deep breath in, deep breath out, and the work is done. Okay, so this is just giving you guys an example about how simple it is to work with Prana Transmission Technique. Okay, all we're doing is just being very aware of the thoughts that we carry. With me, it's not really difficult because, again, I've been spending years cleaning out so much stuff within myself. And even with the introduction of Prana Transmission Technique, I was even clearing out just a few things there. But this morning, just feeling right as rain. Feels really, really good. So this is why I just basically had to do an example in that way. But I'd like you guys just to continue to work together with Prana Transmission Technique because it is incredibly powerful. Like I said, you're not only just working together with the emotional and mental body, you're working with the physical body at the same time. How is your physical body feeling? Right? Is there any pains, any aches, any stiffness, any soreness within the body as well too? I've also been using Prana Transmission Technique with a cold as well too, and getting better and better every day. So again, regardless of what you're deciding to use it for, work with this, right? It's kind of like what I was talking about yesterday. It's very important that we take the well-being of our own health into our own hands. Okay, you have to be responsible. I know we want to have other people to fix us up. I know we want other people, doctors and medical practitioners and intuitives and all that stuff, to try and fix us up. And they can help to a certain degree, but they cannot be the catalyst to your full recovery. You have to be that. You have to be the one that is going to shift yourself completely. You have to be the one that is going to take responsibility for yourself and make yourself 100% liberated, 100% well. That always comes through you. So if you know this, do the Prana Transmission Technique, do BCR technique, right? These are free techniques that are available to you, and they work really, really well, as you guys are noticing, okay? And so, yes, today's Father's Day, so it doesn't really matter. Mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, children, etc. Work to make yourselves well. To me, it's just another day of humanity, okay? We call these little fancy buzzwords with Father's Day and Mother's Day and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. We're all human beings. We all have different orientations of ourselves. Let's look at every single day like that and make yourselves well, because now you have the ability to do so. Okay? So again, with the Prana Transmission Technique 3-day challenge, this 3-day challenge is going to be taking over the old video. Okay, so the old video that I made with Prana Transmission Technique, I'm going to be removing that from YouTube, simply because it's not the right teaching anymore in regards to Chandra and retaining the breath as well too. So like I said, I had to go through that, realized I got myself sick from it, and so I'm going to be taking down the old video for Prana Transmission Technique, and these 3 videos will be the new cornerstone for Prana Transmission. So I'll be taking care of that shortly. But again, if you've just tuned in to day number 3, I suggest just watching day number 1 and day number 2. Day number 2, again, I did a presentation yesterday where we went a little bit more deeper into Prana Transmission Technique, so you guys are getting very, very familiar with it. So Brad, what is it that makes Prana Transmission Technique stand out? What's a good quality? If I could give a good quality to Prana Transmission, what would it be? Simplicity. It's very, very simple. Okay. Sometimes I think I make these things a little too simple. Right? Maybe people might like things complicated, but I certainly don't. Right? So we want to make sure just to work together with the simple. So as soon as I show something, it's not even just the idea of Prana Transmission. If I'm showing people simple techniques and say, okay, that's all you got to do. Brad, come on. That was way too easy. You're telling me I've been busting my butt here for so many years, working with myself, healing myself, trying to heal myself. And all you're telling me is that I just got to do this. Yeah, completely. I think it's sometimes some people are appreciative of it, but there's times too where I can sense people getting upset about it. It's like, this is it. Like I'm spending all this time doing all this hard effort, and I'm doing something as simple as this and it shows results. That's it, guys. We have to give up the complicated and come directly into the simple. So if you like simple, great. Then this is the channel for you. If you want complicated rocket science, quadratic equations, and calculus, well, this is not the channel for you. Okay? So the healing techniques, the inner techniques, the inner practices shared throughout this channel is always built on simplicity, because that's what deems the greatest results. That's what works. Simplicity always works. All right. Okay, looks like everybody here is good in the chat. I don't see any questions at all. So if you guys do have any questions, you can feel free to put a question up. But like I said, today is mostly just a quick overview of Prana Transmission Technique. Again, if you guys have not tried BCR Technique 30-Day Challenge, that would be something I'd suggest as well. So this again is one of the 4 free healing techniques that's available on my YouTube channel. Okay, the other 3 healing techniques are also up on the playlists of my YouTube channel. So not just checking out Prana Transmission Technique, but the 30-day BCR technique, the 10-day cord removal healing, which is also a level 1 technique, and finally conflict elimination technique 7-day challenge, which is a level 2 healing technique. So what I would suggest is, guys, go ahead and check out those other ones as well too. If you're enjoying Prana Transmission Technique, just continue to whet the appetite and work more with the other healing techniques that are also freely available, and really just develop yourself and start experimenting and start incorporating all 4 of those methods together and see how well you're going to continue to prosper and grow. Okay? So thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for this short day number 3 of Prana Transmission Technique. I'm going to be doing New Earth TV Live here at 11 o'clock. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Take care.